Welcome to the Wealth Matters podcast, where investors come together to better understand how to build passive cash flow and create generational wealth without all the confusing mumbo-jumbo. Here's your host and co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller, Alpesh Parmar.
Welcome to Wealth Matters podcast. Hope everyone is doing great. I want to talk about February crypto news today. So a lot happened during February, especially January was very bearish for Bitcoin and overall crypto market. February somehow started really well. And then depending on how the federal interest rate discussion went on, it would go down, it would go back up. So it's been very volatile, but it's still in a tight range of between 42,000 to 46,000. Right now, while I'm recording this, it's around 44,000. So it's been very interesting. So venture capital money continued to flood into the crypto industry in January and February. In fact, nearly $5 billion in new funding broke a monthly record in January. Around 200 crypto startups secured cash in January despite the broader crypto market slowdown. You know what that tells us, right? That even if the market is correcting, so much venture capital, the hedge funds, and a lot of these big buyers are interested in the crypto market. The price of Bitcoin has dropped from around 60,000 in early December to about 40,000, right, in January, and now around 44. But somehow funding rounds kept getting bigger, right? Especially for later stage companies. There were 15 mega rounds of at least $100 million, with the biggest one coming from Fireblocks, which raised $550 million. Let's go through some of this news which happened in January, end of January to mid-February. Fireblocks raised $550 million. London-based VC firm Blossom Capital raised $432 million to invest in crypto and European tech startups. Crypto exchange FTX US raised $400 million in outside capital at a valuation of $8 billion. Hong Kong-based metaverse startup Animoca Brands raised $360 million. NFT marketplace OpenSea raised $300 million in a new venture capital. Privacy-focused Secret Network raised $225 million. All-star quarterback Tom Brady's NFT platform Autograph raised $170 million. The Near Foundation, the Near Protocol, they announced a $150 million private token funding round. Crypto asset software and data provider Lukka closed $110 million funding round. Bahrain-based crypto exchange Rain Financial raised around $110 million. Can you believe this much capital pouring into the crypto startups or the late stage companies which are tied to crypto somehow, metaverse, that? It's unbelievable. So do you think now Bitcoin or cryptos will disappear? No, at this point, yes, the people think, compare it to the dot-com era where there were a lot of startups. And of course, when the market gone bust, there are a lot of those startups disappeared. But if some of those people would have picked Amazon to Netflix and some of those other businesses, they would be sitting on 100x to 1000x gains right now in 20 years. So that's how every market is evolving, as I said before as well, because cryptos are a new technology like .com was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, basically. Same way, so they will be volatile. On top of that, they allow liquidity, 24/7 liquidity through tons of exchanges. That also adds that the volatility will be here to stay. But on the flip side, institutional money is coming in, right? So there are lots of those things I'm looking at. If you remember, JP Morgan Chase, JM Diamond had said that cryptos are fraud, Bitcoin is a scam, and they continue to invest in cryptos. Day before yesterday, they announced that JP Morgan is getting into Decentraland metaverse. So Decentraland's coin is Mana, MANA. And today I read in the news that they already have a store in Decentraland metaverse. So feel free to check it out. But you know what that shows? That on one side, they'll continue to say it's a fad, it's a scam, whatnot. But those hedge funds too, these five big financial companies, they'll continue to invest in cryptos and metaverse and whatnot. KPMG Canada has acquired cryptos as well. So a lot of the big four are coming into crypto world. If you're looking for a bullish signal, you can focus on short-term moves, right? You have to dig deeper. Another thing I noticed, and I follow Glassnode. If you want to, feel free to, they have a lot of free charts available. Whenever Bitcoin prices fall, we usually see a decrease in crypto wallets holding Bitcoin, right? This makes sense because people sell during those big drops. And whenever around mid bear market, those same people, also other people, they start buying back, and you have now more wallets holding Bitcoin. But Glassnode have been measuring this trend by looking at number of wallets with a Bitcoin balance higher than zero. They call it as non-zero wallets. The logic they apply is that whenever market drops the $0 Bitcoin balance, there will be more Bitcoin or wallets with $0 Bitcoin balance, right? Because they sell off. According to their research, it has happened in 2017, then 2018, right? Every time the non-zero wallet would go down while whenever the market corrected. First time ever while the market was correcting right now, the biggest thing we noticed is that, or not we, but the Glassnode people, is that non-zero wallets increased to a record high of 40 million people, 40 million wallets. So that's huge. So what that tells me that even though there is a bear market or some correction, people still believe in Bitcoin or cryptos, and they are not totally getting out of cryptos, right? So that's pretty interesting to me. So that's one thing I'm watching. Another thing someone asked me, that why before I kept saying that cryptos don't move with stocks, they are not related. But if you notice last year or so, cryptos move with NASDAQ. So now people are asking me, is Bitcoin now correlated to stocks? Yes, right now it is. It's like totally correlated. And it should not be that's how it's supposed, but it is, because it's bizarre, because Bitcoin trade completely outside of the financial market. Bitcoin isn't directly correlated to other assets like equities, bonds, or gold. It's also not directly affected by monetary policy in any way. But right now, because some of the biggest new crypto buyers have been hedge funds, pension funds, insurance companies. These new players don't know how to gauge or figure out what Bitcoin's true value is or price is. So they do the easy thing. They lump Bitcoin with other tech investments, right? Because it's a technology. I think it's like IT or other software tech. So they put it together. PayPal, Meta, Facebook, Square, etc., Nvidia. And if you see a lot of those companies are down 40 to 30% in a year, less than a year, actually, last 3 months or so. So because of that, they also consider Bitcoin as similar to those tech companies, and they start dumping Bitcoin as well, right? So I don't think it's going to stay that way, but let's see. One thing I've been noticing again, because we mine Bitcoin, we have a lot of Bitcoin, 4 Bitcoin mining funds, right? Despite the recent sell-off, Bitcoin miners still hold 88% of their Bitcoin. So they don't sell, they only sell 12% of the Bitcoin. And because they have operational expenses, but they try to hold about 88%. That's huge. So they are not selling their Bitcoin, even with Fed threatening rate hikes, right? And they will continue to hold nearly all newly mined Bitcoin. And that will push its price to 100K, 200K, or even more in near future. That's what I look at it. I want to look at non-zero wallets. I want to look at how many Bitcoins miners are holding. Of course, there'll be volatility constantly, but for me, it's very important that there are new players coming into the market. Some of the new interesting things I noticed is that I was reading today, state of Colorado in US will start accepting crypto for tax payments by summer. This would be huge again if states, I know Texas has opened its arms to Bitcoin miners. Arizona is looking into accepting crypto. Now Colorado, Florida is already looking into creating its NFT, etc. So that's huge. Now Twitter also lets users add Ethereum addresses for mobile tipping. That's amazing. The oil and gas giant ConocoPhillips is joining the Bitcoin mining fuel business as well. So it's like lot of things you have to read between the lines. A lot of good things happening. Of course, it's going to take a while. On one side, Russia's central bank says that they have to ban Bitcoin. On the other side, Russia's finance minister said that banning Bitcoin is like banning the internet, so we can't do that. So there are lots of things going on, and I've spoken about that geopolitical issues as well. Warren Buffett now likes Bitcoin. That's pretty interesting. So Disney is hiring another person to look into its metaverse efforts. These are a lot of interesting things happening right now. So again, of course, there are bad news as well, right? Canada looked into banning Bitcoin or crypto as payment for a little bit while they had a lot of issues at the border with the truckers. Right, so that was one of the things I looked into as well. On the other side, Walmart board of director also said crypto's potential goes beyond financial services. So there is a lot of things, and of course, Super Bowl happened last weekend, and that was huge. The most number of ads were regarding crypto from crypto exchanges and whatnot. I think it's about to become big. Again, there will be some dip in between, and as I've said, it will be volatile. But if you look at the bigger picture, if you are investing for long term, you shouldn't worry about that noise. I call it as a noise. So this is what I wanted to share, what I have been watching, what I have been listening to. Let me know what you guys think of this episode, and please like to my YouTube channel. If you're listening to me on Apple or other podcast platform, please subscribe, follow, and if you leave a review, that would be very helpful as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Matters podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes so others can enjoy the show too. Have a great week and happy investing!